It was nearly a year ago when I bought my 1991 NA1 Acura NSX. The car was absolutely amazing, but unfortunately it had an automatic transmission.
Hear that thing fire up? All right, someone's behind me. So my trans whining?
Now after doing some thinking, I decided to go ahead and K-swap it and of course, pull out the automatic transmission and go to a manual. Now before I even started the project, as the car was complete, sitting in the shop, still with the C30 and still with the automatic transmission, I had the vision, I had the idea of doing a twin turbo build when it was K-swapped. So after getting the K-series engine and transmission in the car, I dropped the car off at the fab shop for them to use their expertise and build me the turbo kit of my dreams. A one-off, twin turbo, K-swap, 1991 NSX. That sounds pretty sick.
Wow, this is nuts, dude.
So the first thing that we had to tackle was making space for the turbos.
So you can see kind of our plan for the cut. Depending on where the turbos sit, we can build a, either like a wedge type filler panel or come up and over, however we got to do it to build that back in. And that should give us plenty of room to set the two turbos right there.
We're gonna build, kind of come off that line there.
And come back out here.
Yeah.
Whatever we got to do to cover it.
Yeah, that'll look good.
I think that's gonna be the cleanest.
I am giving away my 400 horsepower Honda Civic Type R to one of you guys. The car has a few simple mods, intercooler, all the intercooler piping, full exhaust, intake, and is tuned on Honda, and it makes nearly 400 horsepower to the tires. Every $3 you spend on the website gets you one entry to win the car, and if you don't want the car, I'm also offering $15,000 in cash. Whoever wins the car, I'm allowing them to choose whatever set of wheels they want for the build. It's currently sitting on CE28 SLs, which in my opinion are one of the best wheels ever made, especially for the Type R. We are down to the final week of the giveaway, so head to the website. Every $3 you spend is one entry to win the car. She'll be shipped right to your front door for absolutely free of charge, or if you want, I'll fly you out and you can go ahead and drive it home. This was the part that I wanted to avoid. I wanted to skip. I really didn't want to cut apart the factory chassis whatsoever, but unfortunately it had to be done.
Well, now we're committed. Ain't going back now. That should be plenty of space for two turbs.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't want to cut it apart too much, but we had to do what we had to do. Now we move on to turbo placement. Where the heck are these two turbos gonna sit?
Turbos, seems like he was saying turbos face like this from the center, kind of aimed at where your holes in your bumper are. The exhaust will be able to go down and then should be able to X-pipe it into itself and then swing it back out, and should look really nice.
So this here is the general idea of where the turbos are gonna sit. My man Craig here is gonna start tacking together the exhaust manifold.
It goes 1 and 4, 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean that.
Mid-engine and all that, it's hard to get a really good look at it because we got so much stuff in our way.
Make sure everything is sitting exactly where we want it, and then he'll go back through and fully weld the manifold together.
That one will run over there. Somewhere like that. Those should poke through just on the outside of your motor mount down there. Yesterday Devin was saying he might want something filling out this area. But
it's a little ugly here. So we have the turbos sitting roughly where we want them. Now we're trying to figure out the placement of the intake pipes. Two options, either the filters sit right on the turbo, which I'm not a big fan of, or we run an intake pipe across the opening of the bumper and kind of tuck the filter back in there.
I mean, it's not bad.
I just want to see how it looks with the filter with going over there.
If you get one that's the same dimensions, I mean,
Like a longer, one of them ETS style ones.
Like Evo 10 EPS style?
Like the longer ones, but still stay skinny?
I mean, that would look, I think that would look nice if that filter was there and the turbo's a little higher and it's just
I mean, hear me out. We've already cut up your trunk, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cut.
Is the bumper just sitting on right now, or is it bolted on?
Where's your other nut you can take off?
Right above it.
Alright, what are you thinking, Chris?
I was just thinking, so your side ducts right there fill the whole quarter panel with air. Is when you have your inner fender liner in it, it'll kind of bring fresh air all the way through the quarter panel and drop it back down underneath here.
Yeah.
So if we were to trim this out and get the air filters right here, put a heat shield below them, so that way it kind of separates the radiant heat from the exhaust off of the air filters.
I like that
You'll
idea.
get fresh air from the side ducts. Probably still get hot from the exhaust a little bit, but not
nearly as much.
Not nearly as much, and then you'll have a couple of.
So it'd be like just a 4 inch coming.
Probably have to neck it down to a 3 inch.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or 3.5 inch to go through there, but.
I think I like that. Chris here has the perfect idea. Forced air coming in from the ducts on the quarter panels through the inner fenders, and it'll go right into the intakes. This here is the perfect solution. I think this is a better, I like this pathway that we're doing. This is nice. So that's about where the turbos are gonna sit.
They'll get welded together and then like that.
Yeah.
And they'll up into there.
Okay.
And then we can swing the exhaust back out.
Yeah. That looks,
So that'll be pretty sick.
dude, that is so sick. Exactly what I had visioned. Are you happy with it?
I am, yeah.
That looks really good.
It was really frustrating getting there.
Oh yeah, dude. Can we take a moment to appreciate how cool this looks right here? As of right now, the turbos are mounted to the body and the entire exhaust manifold is tacked together. Now he's gonna pull the manifold off the car and fully weld it up.
And then we'll connect them back together. That's why those two V-bands were tacked together.
So that is where the turbos are gonna sit. And now the manifold gets welded. Manifold's all done.
Manifold's all done.
Nice.
I had this like stuck together here yesterday. Got all excited, just started to weld and stuff. And I stand back and look at it, and I was like, "Mother, it's not centered." So I had to cut it apart this morning so I could get the cross to be in the center. Is the idea there, and that'll sit somewhere in there.
That's perfect.
Somewhere like that, yeah. And then similar on the other side.
1 million hours later, the manifold's welded. Now there's two important things left to fab up. The exhaust coming out of the turbos to the rear bumper and the wastegates. The first thing we're tackling is the exhaust. The last piece to weld on the mid pipe, the gates. turbo kit is starting to come together. With all these pipes running everywhere, it looks absolutely insane.
Swing it back over a little bit.
Oh, there's plenty of space to come through that bumper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the plan there.
The wastegates are just tacked on there, and now we're trying to figure out if we want external dumps for the wastegates or just recirculate it back into the exhaust.
Kick it up a little bit to come out there.
I wonder if that's almost just too much going on and we could just go back to the exhaust.
If you want to, that's totally an option.
Yeah.
We just, you'd be coming down and just tying back in like that probably.
Because there's already a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
And to have another...
Being tied into the exhaust would look pretty cool also.
Yeah. Now, after doing some mock-ups, we decided it's ultimately going to look cleaner, look better if we just recirculate it back into the exhaust. I did also make the call to go ahead and grab the OEM bumper and finish the rest of the kit with the OEM bumper on the car. The reason for that is a lot of the lines on the aftermarket bumper are not where they should be. For example, if we wanted to install the taillights, we'd have to do a ton of modification on this aftermarket bumper to make it work, which I'm not really wanting to do.
That went right like it came off the car.
Crazy. Oh yeah, it's nice. Literally everything's just completely hidden.
It is, yeah, it tucks everything, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it hides everything.
What's the best way to cut the bumper?
Yeah, I'd say if you got some like the diffusers or whatever they call them. Even if you didn't want to do that, you could potentially do, a bezel with a nice mesh in it or whatever too.
That's pretty nuts looking. Yeah, that's wild looking. Jeez.
I needed this off anyways, Devin, so.
Perfect.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there, bro.
Yeah, that's a lot. I love it.
Before you take your intakes off, I did build a secondary bracket there. You might take some pictures of the orientation just so.
Okay.
Because if you don't have these lined up on the exact side of the bracket,
yeah,
you're never getting the vantion off.
Okay.
So.
One day I'll be able to do some fab work like this. This is nuts, dude. Probably not because I don't practice enough.
That's what you gotta do. You're
So this here is the final look of the turbo setup. Now we do still need to rebuild the floor in the air to water cooler, but this thing is turning out better than I could have ever imagined.